if you're waking up 2, 3, even 4 times a night because your bladder feels full, you understand the frustration. That constant interruption, the fatigue it brings the next day, it chips away at your life. And if you've been told that prescription drugs or even surgery are your only options for an enlarged prostate, I have vital information for you today. The truth is, a specific, powerful vitamin can directly help shrink prostate tissue and restore your urinary function. This is a truth that rarely makes it to the men who need it most. I am Dr. Katherine Rotker. For 25 years, I have sat with thousands of men just like you who are tired of the weak stream, the urgency, and the underlying worry that something is seriously wrong. The good news is that robust medical evidence built over decades clearly shows how certain vitamins combat the inflammation driving prostate growth, improve urinary flow, and support overall male health. But this science seldom leaves the medical journals. That changes right now. In this video, I will give you the 3 most powerful science-backed vitamins you can use to support your prostate health naturally. I will tell you exactly what they are, how they work, and the precise way to use them for the best results. I will even share a simple method for taking each one of them that can significantly enhance how quickly your body puts it to work. This knowledge could very well be the turning point your prostate health needs. If you are a man over 60 looking for real natural solutions, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for our channel. We are here to provide you with actionable advice you can trust. And let me know in the comments below if this is the kind of information you've been looking for. A simple yes helps me understand what matters to you. Now, let's get into the very first vitamin. This is the one I recommend to nearly every single patient in my clinic. The scientific backing for its role in prostate health is absolutely solid. That vitamin is vitamin D. One of my longtime patients, Harold, a sprightly 68-year-old who came to me utterly exhausted. His spirit was willing, but his body was running on empty because he was getting up to use the bathroom 5 times every single night. He had already tried the standard prescription route, but the side effects left him feeling dizzy and unwell. So he stopped. He was resigned to believing this was just his new normal, a quiet frustration he had to live with. I see this confession from hundreds of men in my practice every year. They accept the frequent trips to the bathroom, the weak stream, and the fatigue as an inevitable part of life, but I am here to tell you it does not have to be that way. For Harold, and for so many others, our pivot wasn't to a stronger pharmaceutical. It was to addressing a simple, foundational nutrient deficiency, and that nutrient was vitamin D. We often severely underrate vitamin D, dismissing it as just something for bone health. But for your prostate, it plays a far more critical and active role. Getting your levels optimized can directly translate to reduced nighttime urination, a stronger flow, and a significant boost in your overall daily energy and vitality. The science behind this is clear. Vitamin D acts as a powerful moderator within the prostate gland. It functions by suppressing the cellular inflammation and overproliferation that causes the gland to swell in the first place. Think of it as calming an irritated environment. It lowers the production of compounds that irritate your urinary tract and promotes a healthy process where old cells die off as they should, which helps reduce the enlarged, hyperplastic tissue that's pressing on your urethra. The challenge is that our skin becomes less efficient at making vitamin D from sunlight, and many of us become deficient without realizing it. This deficiency creates a perfect environment for prostate inflammation to thrive. For Harold, we started with a simple blood test that confirmed a significant deficiency. We began a regimen of high-quality vitamin D3 supplementation tailored to his specific needs. Within 2 months, he reported sleeping through the night most evenings, a victory he celebrated. But more than that, the cloud of fatigue lifted. He had the energy to play golf again without constantly calculating his proximity to a bathroom. Correcting your levels is straightforward. Your first and most natural option is sensible sun exposure. Aim for about 15 to 20 minutes of midday sun on your arms and legs a few times a week. You can also find vitamin D in foods like fatty fish, salmon, and mackerel are excellent egg yolks and fortified milks. However, for most men, especially during winter months, a supplement is the most reliable way to ensure you get a therapeutic dose. I almost always recommend vitamin D3, as it's the form your body uses best. The key is to have your levels tested first. This allows us to personalize your dosage because while vitamin D is consistently beneficial for those who are deficient, we want to avoid extremely high levels from oversupplementation. Optimizing vitamin D creates a powerful foundation, but it works even better with its crucial partner, a mineral that is absolutely essential for prostate fluid production and hormonal balance. That partner is zinc, and the benefits it offers for urinary function and male vitality are too important to miss. Let's talk about it next. Let me introduce you to Mark, a fit 72-year-old who watched his diet and walked daily. He came to me not because of the usual urinary symptoms, but with a concern about his energy levels and a feeling that his overall vitality was declining. He described it as a slow leak of his get up and go. During our conversation, he casually mentioned he'd also noticed a slight change in his sense of taste and that small nicks and cuts seemed to take longer to heal. These are the subtle clues I've learned to listen for. Mark, like so many accomplished men I see, was frustrated. He was doing everything right, yet his body wasn't responding the way he expected, and that brings a unique sense of quiet disappointment. The underlying issue, the missing piece most doctors rarely think to discuss in the context of prostate and male health, was zinc. We often pigeonhole zinc as just a mineral for immune support, something you take for a cold. But for a man's body, and particularly for the prostate, its role is far more fundamental. Zinc acts as a crucial cofactor in over 300 enzymatic reactions, but its concentration in the prostate gland is higher than in any other organ in the body. This isn't a coincidence. It is essential for maintaining cellular health, regulating hormone metabolism, and providing antioxidant protection right where you need it most. Without sufficient zinc, prostate cells become more vulnerable to inflammation and damage. This can contribute to the cellular overgrowth that leads to swelling, which in turn puts pressure on the urethra and results in a weaker stream and more frequent urination. The impacts extend beyond the bathroom. Low zinc can affect testosterone metabolism, energy production, and even the psychological sense of well-being. The good news is that addressing this is often straightforward. My first recommendation is always to look to your diet. Wonderful natural sources of zinc include pumpkin seeds. A handful as a snack is a great habit, red meat in moderation, lentils, and shellfish like oysters. For many men, simply incorporating more of these foods can make a measurable difference. However, if dietary changes aren't enough or if a test confirms a deficiency, a high-quality zinc supplement can effectively fill the gap. I often recommend a form like zinc picolinate for better absorption, and it's always wise to discuss the appropriate dosage with your doctor to ensure it's right for your individual needs. In my clinical experience, restoring zinc levels is one of the easiest and most natural ways to support foundational health. Men like Mark return for follow-up visits, often reporting more than just improved urinary function. They talk about having more energy throughout the day, a renewed sense of vitality, and that feeling of their body working with them again. The process is generally well tolerated and safe when approached sensibly, especially with medical guidance. Now, zinc provides incredible foundational support, but our next vitamin operates on a completely different, yet equally critical front. It's essential in supporting nerve health, boosting energy production, and even influence the way the bladder communicates with your brain. That's vitamin B12. And it's often the missing link for men over 60. Let's talk about it next. I recall Charles, a vibrant 70-year-old who was convinced his best days were behind him. Beyond the usual prostate concerns, he confided in me about a creeping numbness in his feet, a persistent lack of energy that coffee couldn't fix, and a deep-seated worry about his changing sexual health. He felt these were separate, inevitable issues he just had to accept. In my practice, I see this pattern constantly, and it's one of the most frequently missed root causes of declining vitality. Charles was presenting a classic case of vitamin B12 deficiency, a common but often overlooked condition that significantly impacts men's health. Vitamin B12 is absolutely fundamental to your daily energy and neurological function. It works behind the scenes in critical ways that directly affect your prostate and sexual health. This vitamin is essential for maintaining the health of your nerves. It preserves the protective myelin sheath that surrounds them, much like the insulation on an electrical wire. This is crucial for the nerves that control your bladder function. When they are healthy, you have better control. Similarly, healthy nerves are fundamental for sexual response. Furthermore, B12 plays a key role in promoting nitric oxide synthesis, a molecule essential for dilating blood vessels and facilitating the blood flow necessary for erections. It also supports healthy cell division and turnover, which contributes to the overall health of prostate tissue. A deficiency disrupts all these processes. The symptoms can be subtle but life-altering. You might experience unexplained fatigue, tingling or numbness in your hands and feet, memory fog, weakened urinary control, or changes in sexual function. The challenge is that natural absorption of B12 from food often declines due to changes in digestive health, making deficiency a prevalent issue that standard blood tests can sometimes miss. For Charles, we addressed this with a simple two-part protocol. We incorporated more B12-rich foods like eggs, fortified cereals, and nutritional yeast into his diet. However, given his pronounced symptoms, we also initiated a course of B12 injections to rapidly restore his levels, later transitioning to a high-quality sublingual supplement for maintenance. The results were transformative. At his follow-up, not only had his PSA level decreased slightly, an encouraging sign, but the persistent pelvic ache and pressure he had lived with had significantly reduced. Objectively, his energy returned. Subjectively, he felt like himself again. The cloud of brain fog lifted, and he reported a marked improvement in sensation and function, restoring his confidence and quality of life. Many patients ask me if taking just one of these vitamins is enough, or what truly happens when you combine them. The answer is that they don't just add to each other. They amplify one another, creating a ripple effect that can transform your prostate health and your overall experience of vitality. Let me illustrate this with Mr. Harold's story, the gentleman we discussed earlier with the severe nighttime urination. While correcting his vitamin D deficiency provided remarkable improvement, it was when we added therapeutic zinc and addressed his borderline B12 levels that he achieved a complete turnaround. The key observation was that his recovery accelerated dramatically, and the benefits became more stable and comprehensive. His sleep improved, his energy surged, and he felt a sense of robust health he hadn't experienced in years. This happens because each vitamin completes a different piece of the physiological puzzle. Vitamin D acts as the master regulator of inflammation, calming the irritated environment within the prostate. Zinc serves as the essential craftsman, enabling crucial cellular repair, hormone metabolism, and antioxidant defense within the gland itself. Then, vitamin B12 functions as the master electrician, ensuring the nerves that control bladder function and the vascular system that supports erectile health are firing optimally. Alone, each one is beneficial. Together, they form a complete support system, each one making the other's job more effective. I like to think of it as a three-legged stool. All three legs, D, zinc, and B12 are required for stable, balance support. Remove one, and the entire structure becomes wobbly and ineffective. This synergistic approach matters more than ever because our bodies face multiple challenges simultaneously. We often see slowed nutrient absorption, elevated inflammatory markers, and longer cellular recovery times. Relying on a single nutrient fix is like trying to put out a fire with a single bucket of water. It might help a little, but a multi-pronged attack is far more effective. Success depends on consistency and balance. Taking these nutrients in the right amounts daily and as part of a routine allows your body to enter a state of renewal. The expected outcomes are comprehensive. I have seen this same powerful transformation in countless men who commit to this balanced routine. They are living proof that this synergistic approach works. However, most men never experience these full benefits because they make a common mistake that can completely cancel out their progress. This error undermines the very synergy we are trying to build. In the next segment, I will explain what that critical mistake is and give you the simple, actionable steps to fix it, ensuring your efforts deliver the results you deserve. Henry, a wonderfully determined man in his late 60s, sat in my office with a look of profound disappointment. He had done everything right, or so he thought. He had diligently purchased a popular multivitamin from a big box store and took it most days with his breakfast. After 3 months, he felt no different. His nightly trips to the bathroom remained unchanged, and his energy was still lagging. He pushed the bottle across my desk and said, "Doc, I wasted my money. I tried the vitamin thing, and it just doesn't work for me." His story is incredibly common. The biggest mistake I see is the assumption that simply taking any supplement is enough. Men often believe that more is better, or that all vitamins are created equal, but this mindset leads directly to wasted effort and disappointing results. The failure usually comes down to 3 specific, correctable errors. The first is ignoring the quality and form of the nutrient. The chemical variant of a vitamin determines how well your body can absorb and use it. Cheap synthetic versions from discount stores or dubious online brands often use inferior forms that your body struggles to process. For example, many generic supplements use vitamin B12 in the form of cyanocobalamin. For many men, this form requires complex conversion in the body to become active, a process that becomes less efficient over time. A far more effective choice is methylcobalamin, the active form your nerves can use immediately. The same principle applies to vitamin D. The D2 form, ergocalciferol, is cheaper but far less effective than the D3 form, cholecalciferol, at raising your blood levels. Even with zinc, some synthetic forms may not be as bioavailable as others. The second error is incorrect dosing. Taking a minuscule amount that looks good on a label but is far below a therapeutic level means your body never gets enough to make a physiological difference. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with a teaspoon. The third critical mistake is inconsistency. Taking your vitamins sporadically, just once or twice a week when you remember, will not produce lasting change. Your body requires a consistent, daily supply of these building blocks to repair tissue, calm inflammation, and restore function. These problems are exacerbated by natural changes that can reduce stomach acid and alter digestion, making high-quality, bioavailable forms even more important. The goal must shift from a one-off attempt to a mindset of daily maintenance. Rebuilding your prostate health and vitality requires steady, consistent support through high-quality nutrients. Much like consistently watering a plant helps it thrive instead of drowning it once a month. For Henry, the solution was straightforward. We switched him to a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, a methylcobalamin B12, and a better-absorbed zinc formula. Most importantly, he committed to taking them consistently with a meal. Within 6 weeks, he reported a significant decrease in nighttime urination and a noticeable improvement in his energy throughout the day. His key insight was that it wasn't that vitamins didn't work, it was that he wasn't taking the right ones in the right way. His turnaround is typical of the men who make these simple corrections. This leads to the most practical question. How do you actually make this a seamless part of your daily routine without it becoming a complicated chore? Many of my patients sit down with me and express a sincere desire for clarity. They say, "Doc, I'm not looking for a miracle. Just tell me exactly what to do each day to feel better." I deeply respect this request for a straightforward, manageable plan. The best approach is one you can stick with effortlessly, built on simplicity and consistency rather than complex regimens or fleeting trends. Let's build a simple, effective morning routine. Begin your day by drinking a full glass of water. This hydrates your system and prepares your body to absorb nutrients effectively. With your breakfast, which should include a good source of protein like eggs, Greek yogurt, or a small portion of fish, take your high-quality methylcobalamin B12 supplement. Taking it with food supports absorption and helps fuel your energy production for the day ahead. After breakfast, if weather permits, enjoy a short walk outside for about 15 minutes. This gentle movement boosts circulation, and the exposure to sunlight helps your body naturally produce its own vitamin D. For days when the sun isn't shining, or during winter months, take your vitamin D3 supplement with this first meal. Alongside that, focus on foods that naturally supply zinc. Something as simple as a serving of pumpkin seeds, a small portion of beans, or a piece of chicken at lunch helps deliver this mineral in the way your body can use best, strengthening immune defense and supporting prostate tissue. Adhering to this consistent daily pattern allows these foundational nutrients to build up in your system and work synergistically. While some men notice improvements in sleep and energy within a few weeks, the most significant and lasting benefits for prostate and urinary function often become apparent after 2 to 3 months of steady commitment. The core message is powerful in its simplicity. You don't need a cabinet full of pills or a complicated schedule. Lasting success comes from a steady rhythm, prioritizing the right nutrients in their most effective forms and maintaining a positive, proactive mindset. This simple routine does more than just support physical health. It restores a sense of agency. It reinforces the empowering belief that you are still firmly in the driver's seat of your health and your life. Trust that your body knows how to use these foundational nutrients to heal and rebalance itself. This knowledge is your starting point. This is the beginning of a new chapter defined by better sleep, greater confidence, and renewed vitality. That chapter starts today, right now, with your decision to take one concrete step toward taking back control.